Hey everyone, welcome back to your go-to spot for all things NFL. Fast, direct, and with that special touch only we bring. Today we're talking about news that caught a lot of people by surprise. The Pittsburgh Steelers' search for a new wide receiver may have ended before Week 1 of the 2025 season. That's right, my friends. It looks like the team will start the season with almost the same group of WRs that trained during camp. But is that good or bad for the Steelers? Stick with me and I'll break it all down. Before we dive in, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our work. It's totally free and it keeps you up to date with all the NFL news. Let's support the community and grow this channel together. Let's start with who's going to carry the load in the Steelers' receiving corps. Despite the lack of outside reinforcements, Pittsburgh has a lot of confidence in Calvin Austin III and Roman Wilson. Calvin, who lines up in the slot, is unfortunately dealing with an abdominal injury but is seen as a key part of the passing rotation. Roman Wilson, picked in the third round of the 2024 draft, had a promising preseason with 96 yards on 4 catches, showing speed and good field awareness. However, uncertainty about his consistent performance remains a question mark. In addition to these two, the Steelers rely on DK Metcalf, the team's #1 option, but he alone isn't enough to guarantee depth in the passing game. Veteran Scotty Miller also gets playing time. Known for his explosiveness and speed, he can be used both outside and in the slot, but hasn't posted significant numbers since 2020. The big question is it risky to start the season with this unit? For now, the team seems satisfied, but of course any injury or drop in production could complicate Pittsburgh's aerial attack. Looking to the future, let's highlight Roman Wilson, the rookie who needs to step up in 2025. He's fast, agile, and has reliable hands, traits that make him ideal to fill gaps in the offense. In last year's draft, the Steelers believed he could develop with experience and become a dependable weapon alongside Calvin Austin. The team also held visits and meetings during the combine and preseason practices to evaluate his adaptability and consistency. Coaches are hopeful that Wilson will grow and deliver reliable production even in high-pressure games. In other words, he's the team's big bet to make up for the absence of veteran reinforcements at the position. Now let's talk trade rumors. Over the past few months, the Steelers considered external options like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who chose to join the 49ers practice squad, and Gabe Davis, who visited twice but didn't sign due to medical concerns after a meniscus injury. Despite these possibilities, Pittsburgh decided not to actively pursue another receiver, neither via free agency nor trades. The team also didn't claim anyone off waivers after roster cuts. This shows that they're trusting the current group and the skills of tight end Jonnu Smith, acquired at the end of June, to bolster the passing game. This strategy is bold, as having only 2 reliable WR options could be risky if injuries occur. At the same time, it shows confidence in internal talent and in the development of Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. So everyone, what do you think about this decision by the Steelers? Are they putting too much trust in the rookies, or could this strategy actually work and surprise us this season? Who do you think will stand out among the team's WRs? Drop your opinions in the comments. I want to know if you're optimistic or worried about Pittsburgh's receiving corps for 2025.
Today, we have a hot topic that promises to shake up the AFC North. The possibility of Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback who ended up with the Cleveland Browns, becoming a talking point again with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, my friends, we're going to break down every detail of this story that left many fans stunned. So, let's get to the big question here. Why did the Steelers let Shedeur Sanders slip in the draft? Before the 2025 pick, many rumors suggested Pittsburgh have their eye on him. However, when it came time to make a decision, they chose Will Howard, letting Sanders fall all the way to the 5th round, where he was eventually selected by their AFC North rival, the Cleveland Browns. This caused a lot of surprise because Howard isn't yet seen as a long-term option, and with Aaron Rodgers nearing the end of his career, the Steelers needed to prepare a future successor. In the eyes of many analysts, Sanders would have been perfect, a young QB with talent to develop who could even learn from Rodgers this season before taking over the team. Several factors influenced this decision. the impact of Russell Wilson, and the situation with Justin Fields the previous year. Coach Tomlin apparently feared repeating a quarterback decision mistake, which made the team cautious. Additionally, rumors indicate that dealing with Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur's father, may have been a point of tension for management, since handling strong personalities is always an extra challenge. In short, Pittsburgh missed a golden opportunity to secure a promising and cost-effective QB who could be the franchise's future, all due to a mix of caution and external factors. Speaking of development and future, Shedeur Sanders is exactly the kind of prospect any team would love to have. With great size, a strong arm, mobility, and tactical intelligence, Sanders shined at Colorado and showed the potential to become a franchise QB. He would fit perfectly on a team that needs to plan a transition from veterans, and even as a backup, he could learn from Rodgers, which is never a bad thing. Additionally, his combine visits and meetings with coaches show that he has discipline and a thirst for learning, essential qualities for NFL growth. If the Steelers decide in the near future to pursue a trade to bring him in, Sanders could not only strengthen the roster, but also create a long-term QB option, something the franchise urgently needs to avoid relying solely on Rodgers this season. And here's the most interesting part. There's a trade rumor that could bring Shedeur Sanders to Pittsburgh this season. According to Jason Burgos from Sportsnaut, the Steelers are among the teams that might try the move. The idea is simple. Rodgers is expected to play only this season, so the Steelers need to prepare for the future. Sanders could arrive at a relatively low cost, start as a backup initially, and, if he develops as expected, become the long-term starting QB. For the Browns, this would mean trading a young, promising QB with potential, while Pittsburgh would get the chance to correct the 2025 draft mistake. Imagine the impact on the division. A QB training with Rodgers, learning from one of the greatest of all time, ready to step into the spotlight. It would be a huge strategic move. So guys, what do you think about all of this? Should the Steelers try to bring Shedeur Sanders back via trade, or are they better off leaving him in Cleveland? Do you think Will Howard can hold the QB spot, or can Rodgers still handle it for another season? I want to read all your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to like and share the video with your NFL fan friends. The more interaction, the more we can bring hot news like this directly to you. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.